the July 13th meeting to order. Ask the clerk to take roll.
Walters?
Here.
Vogel?
Here.
Anderson?
Here.
Sarchet?
Here.
First item on the agenda is approval of the agenda. I have no additions or corrections. I would take a motion, please.
Motion to approve as presented.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Walters?
Yes.
Vogel?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Sarchet?
Yes.
And Mayor Dave just joined.
Excellent.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, Dave. Time to close the regular meeting and open the public hearing on the proposed Cdbg funded project for the Comet covered food bank. Ask the clerk when the notice is published.
July 3rd?
Any written comments for or against?
No, sir.
Great. Chelsea, you want to provide a quick report on it?
Yes. So really quickly, the city of Polk City has been awarded a Cdbg grant in the dollar amount of $30,988 to be allocated to the local food bank. I am going to go through all 9 topics really quickly. And Jenny, all of this does need to be incorporated into the minutes. Need for the project. So food security is at a high currently, and our local food bank, the Comet Cupboard, is in need of donations. Donations were high at the beginning of the COVID pandemic and have slowly started slowing down. They currently range between handing out 7 to 10 bags daily. Each bag consists of $25 worth of food and a $10 gift certificate to Fairway to purchase bread, milk, those sorts of things with the gift certificate. So that is a range of 210 to 300 bags that go out each month. In April, the Methodist Church made a monetary donation to the program because they could not keep up with the donations. 2, the project. So the project is solely to support the Comet Cupboard. Financially, the original proposed project did not incorporate any private donations and would get the project through September 30th financially. The money must be spent by June 4. We do not currently ask for proof at the Comet Cupboard of what the LMI requirements are from those people that are benefiting from the project. However, it is an estimation that the project is benefiting LMI recipients 75 to 100%. 5, the project is taking place at the Methodist Church, 1421 West Broadway Street, Polk City, Iowa, 50226. 6, no relocation has needed to occur due to the pandemic. 7, the contact person is Chelsea Huseman, city manager. My email address is chuseman@polkcityia.gov. City Hall phone number 515-984-6233. And the public can contact myself directly with questions or concerns related to the project. 8, community development and housing needs addressed. So the only other program that the city is currently offering that is targeted towards the LMI population is the city utility billing assistance program. And that was a newly started program with the COVID pandemic. And number 9, no other planned activities at this time. So those are the 9 topics I needed to cover in the public hearing.
Do you have anything else?
No.
Perfect. Is there anyone on the phone who wishes to be heard for or against the proposed CDBG funded project? Hearing none or seeing none, I need a motion to close the public hearing and reopen the regular meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Dvorak,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Sarchet,
I think I got in there before Dave, but I'll take it. Yes.
Murray, Walters,
Yes.
Vogel.
Yes.
We're back in regular meeting. Next item, Resolution 2020-78, adopting a policy on the residential anti-displacement and relocation assistance plan, excessive force policy, equal opportunity policy, fair housing policy, code of conduct policy, and procurement policy. Chelsea, do you have anything you want to share on all these?
The only updated policy, we needed to update all of them, but the brand new one is the residential anti-displacement and relocation assistance plan policy. Otherwise, the city had adopted all of these policies back in 2003. So they are just amending the policies.
Any questions, comments, concerns, or a motion?
Any amendments are simply just updating them to today's standards based on what others are, best practices, right?
Correct.
Obviously, yeah,
So-
like you've done with everything else.
Yep.
Yeah, very good. I'm a motion that if there's no other questions.
Second.
Any other questions, comments? Roll call, please.
Walters,
Yes.
Vogel,
Yes.
Dvorak,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Sarchet.
Yes.
Motion carries. Next item is public comments. This is the time and place for comments for any item other than those that are in a public hearing. I'll ask the clerk if anybody has presented for tonight.
Yes, sir. Dennis Kane is on the phone.
Dennis, the floor is yours for the next 5 minutes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm inquiring about the new wage policy. I came back from Montana and got a letter that everything was going to go to a Wednesday pickup in the city, which I think is a great idea because before it was different companies and they were all coming down every day and it was very noisy. So I commend you for making it Wednesday. But the problem I have is that I've lived here 7.5 years and I've never had trash pickup at my house. I recycle everything, I compost everything, and I use very little trash anymore. And so I really, when they came to drop it off, I told them I didn't want it. And they took it away. And I just want to know if I can personally opt out of the $15 a month because it's something I'm not going to use.
Dennis, have you called in and talked to Chelsea or Jenny about this?
Yeah, I did, and they said that I'd have to, that you couldn't opt out, but I had to speak to the council about it.
This is Amy. There's currently nothing in our ordinance that allows a citizen to opt out of the ordinance.
That was my understanding as well.
Well, I wish to opt out. I mean, I may want to opt in someday, but right now, I don't have the trash to support that, and I don't want that roller thing going up and down my driveway. I live on a big, tall hill, and I don't want to have to do that up and down.
Well, Dennis, at this point, we don't have, at this point, we just don't have a different option. I guess, I guess that's something maybe we could look at in the future and see. But my general understanding is when it comes to opting out of this, it's just not really an option at this time.
Well, it seems like that you're forcing a service on me that I'm not going to use. and making me pay for it. And I think that's just a little bit of a little bit too much government. I'm really glad that you moved everything to Wednesday for everybody else. But like I said, I'm the type of person that I maybe have a tiny grocery sack of trash once a month, and I just can't. I can't see. I don't. It's not that I can't afford it. I just don't want to do it, and I don't want to pay for it because I feel like I'm supporting something that's wasteful.
I guess so. I don't know. I speak for everybody else. So I'm sorry. What was your name again?
Dennis Kane.
Dennis. So this is Rob Sarchi talking. I don't know if you can see or not, but first of all, I commend you for putting yourself in that position, that you're, not producing waste. Is my understanding in the conversations that we had that our pricing was subject to a universal adoption. So that's what we went ahead with. I know this is probably not good solace to you, but you're obviously in the significant minority. And it's not $15, it's $8 plus another $3 something for recycling, which I guess, my fear would be if we adopted a policy that you would, it sounds like, genuinely use, that others would then abuse. And so,
Well, what I want to say is, are you still going to have your recycling yard by the city yard?
Yes.
Well, like I said, I don't really, I go there like once a week anyway, but, I just don't really see how you can force this on somebody that doesn't use it. I mean, can you email me the ordinance that was passed and I can have my legal people look at it?
Yes, we'll have Jenny or Chelsea or Amy, one of them will send that to you. If you can, Jenny, will you get his contact information after this is over, and then you guys can address that directly?
I already have it.
Perfect.
Yeah, but I just, I really commend you for making it all universal, but for people that, I mean, there might be some people here, what are you going to do with the people in the apartments? Do you make them each get one dumpster?
They're treated as commercial, Dennis.
Oh, okay. Well then, okay. Then they're in a different category than me. Okay. Well, thank you very much. I'll look at it, look at the ordinance, but I can't understand why you couldn't just opt one person out that wants out of it.
Well, like I said,
I'm not gonna abuse it, and if I abuse it, you can fine me. But
Jenny, if you can make contact with him, send him that so we can, yeah.
I will do that. Thank you.
Perfect. Thanks, Dennis. Moving on, consent agenda. I guess, Jenny, there was nobody else, was there? I'm sorry.
No.
Thanks. Moving on to consent agenda. I have no additions, corrections. I would take a motion on that.
I'll make a motion before Dave runs the table on all of these. I do want to highlight the citywide cleanup, just make sure we're publicizing that, which we are, but just as another opportunity to get that out there since we weren't able to do it earlier. And then I'm very excited about the deputy city clerk spot.
I will second that. And I also want to comment. I had a note here to comment on F. That's going to be very well received. I've had lots of questions about it. Was it ever going to happen? And when would it happen? I think the sooner we get the word out there, the better it'll be. And I think a lot of people will be very happy about that.
Did you make a motion? I'm sorry.
I did.
Okay.
I made a second.
Second. Perfect. Roll call. Sorry. I was reading
Anderson?
something.
Yes.
Burchett?
Yes.
Walters?
Yes.
Vogel?
Yes.
Dvorak?
Yes.
Motion carries. Next item is business item resolution 2020-79, providing the issuance of general obligation street improvement bonds series 2020, providing for the levy of taxes to pay for the same. Chelsea?
For consideration tonight is a resolution in front of the council to finalize the authorization of our loan agreement for the issuance of general obligation bonds for the street project that we recently completed.
Questions, comments, concerns, or a motion?
Make a motion.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Dvorak,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Sarchet,
Yes.
Walters,
Yes.
Vogel.
Yes.
Motion carries. Next item, third and final reading of ordinance 2020-1100, rezoning 14.6 acres owned by Snetzler and Liskow acres to R2A. Need a motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Vogel,
Yes.
Dvorak,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Sarchet,
Yes.
Walters.
Yes.
Motion carries. Next item, third and final reading of ordinance 2020-1200, rezoning 34.16 acres owned by Liskow to C2. Motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Walters,
Yes.
Vogel,
Yes.
Dvorak,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Sarchet.
Yes.
Motion carries. Next item, approve Snyder and Associates May 2020 invoice in the amount of $32,973.60. Need a motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Anderson,
Yes.
Sarchet,
Yes.
Walters,
Abstain.
Vogel,
Yes.
Dvorak.
Yes.
Motion carries. Next item, discuss timing and resuming in-person meetings. Chelsea.
So at our last council meeting, we talked about reopening city facilities, and the council left that at the discretion of myself. We tentatively were going to open July 6th to the public. However, we have decided not to open to the public unless an appointment is made. We have not had any appointment requests as of July 6th, but we are advertising that if someone from the public does need to come in, we will make a special exception for them. So we'd like to discuss resuming in-person meetings and what that looks like for the council for the next July meeting. Sorry, I was looking at a calendar.
27th.
27th. So asking for opinions. Go ahead, Jason. Sorry.
I mean, my personal opinion is based on everything that's been going on. I saw Clive close back down today. I saw Urbandale close back down last week. Windsor Heights had a case where they closed again. I just think that we continue what we're doing. I don't see that it's not necessarily working. Amy, what are you seeing in other communities?
I am seeing no move towards in-person meetings. Everything
Okay.
other than, I will say, Huxley is doing in-person, but that's the anomaly. No one else that I have seen, including the city of Des Moines, is doing it. They're not doing in-person. They're all doing it by Zoom.
Okay.
Ankeny's not doing in-person meetings?
No, and they have not even had a discussion that they are going to be moving to that soon. So, yeah.
I can say that we had our first in-person MPO meeting in June. It was kind of exciting to see people again. Not everyone attended in person. There were some that attended by Zoom. And then this month we canceled based on the recent spike. So the associations that we have that we're a part of, they're going back to Zoom meetings as well, at least the ones that I'm part of.
Yeah, my opinion is, I agree with Ron.
Yeah. I was going to say, I agree with Jason. My question was going to be, can I still come on Zoom if you have in-person meetings?
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way, Ron.
So I think I personally think that it's a bigger task to undertake to go to it and then go back here. So let's just play it steady and see what happens.
Do you guys want to rediscuss July 27th? Do you want to do this every meeting, or do you want to push it out for a date for rediscussion?
I think that, I mean, I guess we just keep kind of watching what others are in the metro are doing and what the, you know, and at that point, if the time comes where we start seeing that movement, we put it back on the agenda and discuss it. I mean, I think we can pull that trigger anytime we want, right?
Well, if we want to, I don't see any reason why we can't leave it up for discussion. But
Or maybe we just revisit it monthly. That way, you know, every 2 weeks or so, there's maybe not much movement or change, but maybe monthly just to have it as a, you know, standing once a month to revisit.
Why don't you put it on the,
Go ahead, Jason.
I was just going to say, why don't you just put it on the first meeting of every month agenda? Then at that point, you'd put it on, rather than, if we know we're not going to meet in the last meeting of July, move it to the first meeting we can discuss in August, and then move it to the first meeting of September or whatever. Hopefully that isn't the case, but it seems like it's going to be that way.
Well, I was just going to say that I'm not going to be comfortable till I see numbers going down. And right now, numbers are not going down. They're going the other way. And I'm at risk. I'm old. I like to remind you people of that.
I've heard you say that a couple of times.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Sounds like plan. Reports in particular. Start at the top. Ron.
Nothing. I said it earlier about, I know people are going to be excited about the pickup, and I think we need to get the word out there so they know it. The particulars with running these other days and being able to take stuff out to the county or the city site. I think that's good, because I know I have an appliance I need to get rid of, and I know other people do, and that's huge.
Yep. Anything else?
No.
Jenny. Mr. Sipker.
Nothing for me tonight.
Chelsea.
I have nothing.
Amy.
Nothing, Your Honor.
Rob.
yeah, I got a few things. I don't know if I was going to steal Jason's thunder. I probably am, but it's Parks and Rec month. So covered that last week in the Parks meeting. So I wanted to bring that up. Jason's doing some cool stuff on that. I did have a conversation with Leslie Earlbeck earlier today from NWA. She expressed some regret on some of the garbage cart exchange. I think that's been less of an issue here than it has, it sounds like, in Johnston and Clive, where they were going through that. But I think they're on top of it. She was working through. I did see, well, and I know personally I got a bill from Ankeny Sanitation, but they were sending out updated bills on that. So if anybody got a bill for future garbage services that had Ankeny Sanitation before, obviously don't pay that, because that's going to be covered in the city utility bill. But I really appreciate the leadership at MWA. They're very transparent, acknowledged maybe they didn't pick the best vendor for this, and we're going to work through that. So I appreciated her reaching out on that. The last thing that I would like to bring up at a future meeting is golf carts and making them legal in certain instances on certain roads. So I've had this brought up a couple of different times, and I'll acknowledge that I probably don't have the best rationale behind bringing it up. But quite honestly, after hearing about it, I called Jeremy, and I wasn't shot down by him. I'll characterize his response that way, which I was sort of expecting to. I'm not saying to bring it up, and I'm in favor of it. And Chelsea brought up some really good points that I think we need to consider. But I do think that we could throw a bone to some folks that maybe have felt that we're not listening, and some of adversely affected by some of the billing, water billing and stuff. So again, that's probably not the best reasoning behind making that change, but I do think it's a small town amenity that we could do, or could look at doing. So as I mentioned to Jeremy and Chelsea, and obviously, want to have a full-blown discussion on the pluses and minuses of this, but I would like that brought up at a future meeting for discussion. That's it.
I think that's good to bring that back for discussion. I know that it was discussed before, a long time ago, when our first city administrator was in favor of it. And but he just wanted to have it in certain areas. And I think we found out at the time, you're either going to open up the town or you're not going to open up the town. If you're going to allow them, you're going to allow them everywhere, is what I was told. Now, I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I don't know. And I know some of the people that had brought it up to me are in a road that I wouldn't think is super conducive for it. But again, I just think it's something that we could do to show that we are listening to people. And
yeah,
we can talk about it.
Yeah, I agree.
Anything else?
No.
Jason.
Thank you for the plug, Rob. Yeah, it's National Parks and Rec Month, and I got something new coming out next week. I'm doing all of that through my department's Facebook page. So if you haven't liked it already, please do so. Share it with your friends in your neighborhoods. Other than that, nothing else to report.
Jeff.
A couple things based on tonight's CIP meeting. I think we need to have a strong push toward that stormwater utility. It's being brought up. I've heard it in person from people. I've seen it on some Facebook neighborhood pages. There is a strong desire to have best management practices for stormwater within residents. I learned here last week that Polk Soil and Water Conservation District has about enough money for Polk City to do 4 to 6 homes with soil quality restoration. For those of you that aren't aware of what that is, that's just aerating the yards, adding compost, and working that in, usually late summer, early fall. It's great for allowing stormwater to infiltrate into the yards, retain that water, and get nice grass, good green grass. It also reduces the amount of storm water at certain storm events hitting our streets and causing issues. So we need to make a good push for that, because it is a want, and I think even more so, it's a need. We're one of the few communities in the metro that don't have that, so we need to start developing a model and an ordinance for that. And then the second item, we had our community visioning open house on Saturday, where there was, I believe, 70 people that actually signed in, and we probably had close to 100 people throughout the day. It was a pretty good Saturday. It was great to see the community visioning team whip out drawings for different parks and trails. I think we're going to have some neat ideas come about from community visioning that we can work toward in the future. I see Rob nodding his head. He was there in the morning. Hopefully others here were able to get there as well. So it was good to hear feedback and input from the citizens that showed up. And I'm excited to see what we get here in the next couple months. That's all I have.
Awesome. Mandy.
Yeah, I was going to speak to the visioning thing as well. I stopped by towards the end of the day on Saturday. So it was kind of fun to see some of the ideas that had come up throughout the day. And it's really an exciting thing to think about. So thanks to everybody that's provided input, that's been involved in that committee, to Steve Karsten for kind of taking the lead on that. Again, it's really exciting to think about opportunities like that here in Polk City. So that was great. And then I know we just had our work session, but thanks again, everybody that's provided input on our CIP. We're making huge strides in planning for the future and getting all of the tools in front of us to evaluate and make good decisions. And really appreciate all the work that Chelsea and staff and everybody else has put into that.
Excellent. Dave?
I have one question that's unrelated to what everybody else said, even though I echo that. I have had a couple people ask about the mulch, like when they were going to start, grinding back up there again after the most recent fire. Any update? I don't know if Mike's on the phone, but anybody have an update on that?
There is mulch up there, and we advertised it on our Facebook page to let people know that it is there and available for pickup.
Great. Okay. I just haven't been up there lately.
I think the ship.
I was out there last week, and they were there grinding that day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Shipped last week.
Great. Thanks. That's it.
Cool. Kathleen?
She's muted.
I see that. I'm going to guess no. Kathleen?
Yeah, it took me a while
Cool.
to find unmute, but yeah.
Jamie?
So it has been a week since we opened by appointment, and it's going pretty well. I think we've only had one family and one individual who did not wear masks while they were in here. Everybody else has brought their own and gets in and gets out quickly. I will say that the numbers in the last several days definitely don't bring us any comfort. I think we may see a rollback on going back to just curbside pickup, but we'll see. We'll give it a couple of days. So.
Yeah. Anything else?
I don't think so.
Thank you.
Just to add to Jamie's comment, my wife and kids did go in there today, and they reported back that the staff was very professional. They felt pretty comfortable in there, but at the same time, recognize if they need to close down and do pickup only, that, I think we need to be supportive of the library's decisions.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Mr. Mitchell?
I have nothing to report tonight.
The fire department and myself, as well as a few of the current fire members, were at the gravesite service that they had for him on Saturday. And myself and Dan Gubbins did a little ceremony for him. And so again, my thoughts and condolences to the family of Gary. It was nice to see some previous fire department members that I hadn't seen for a while, and he had a good showing, and just kind of one of those tough things with the current situation. So, Chief, thanks for lining up the bell and having that available for the family. It was appreciated. And then along those same lines, because of that event and then a couple others, obviously with the numbers that are increasing, I just quick plug to remind everybody that I saw a number of events going on and not a lot of social distancing going on in and around town, both local as well as out of town. So just a reminder, it is still going on, and hopefully we can find a way to slow the spread, as they say. So anyway, that's all I have. Unless anybody else has anything else, I take a motion to go into closed session under Code of Iowa, Chapter 21, official meetings open to the public, Section 5, closed session, to discuss the purchase and sale of particular real estate.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Vogel,
Yes.
Dvorak,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Sarchet,
Yes.
Walters.
Yes.
We are in closed session when the appropriate people drop off.